What I'm going to take you through today is this style of ad that is quietly blowing up on Meta for clinics, which is way easier to create, is getting way more leads at a cheaper cost that is easier to convert. In fact, one of the clients that I work with literally just runs this one style, and that's it. If you don't know me, my name's Elliot, and I work with over 250 clinic owners around the world to just give them the Meta ad playbook, what they can do to run their own Meta ads so they can get 5 or more new clients every single week, crucially, without needing a marketing agency. So over the next couple of minutes, what I'm going to show you and actually give you real examples of this style of ad that is working, show you how you can start using it straight away in your clinic so you're going to be able to get more people in. So first of all, what I want to do is explain what a lot of clinics currently do and why that doesn't work. So then you can see the flip side on what we can do to make it work for you in future when you start running these ads. So crucially, one of the things that people do is they will run what is easy, because a lot of clinics don't see the power, I essentially think, in social media, and they put it as a last thing or an afterthought rather than a forethought. And even agencies, to be honest, do this as well, is that when you're running ads, people will run like a stock image or they'll use a Canva template. And like I said, agencies do this, but they'll just use the same Canva template for your clinic to another clinic down the road and maybe just change the logo and a couple of bits of wording on it. So then the bar is actually set really low for you to overcome this. But what we need to think of is what the whole point of the ad is doing. We want to first stop people as they are scrolling through social media. Secondly, we want to build trust with them, and from that, like, break a belief or take them from old way of thinking to new way of thinking, and then give them an offer to come in. And yes, everyone needs to give someone an offer, otherwise people aren't going to actually take action, and that offer can be something very different. What I typically see, and I'm going to pull them up here, is these ads where it's these stock images. So it may be an image of an x-ray with some red circles around it. It may be stock images of someone clutching their lower back. It may be these images that you can see. Secondly, then, with the ad copy, it will typically say things like, hey, local area, we can help with back pain, neck pain, headaches, migraine, sciatica, or there's one of them that you can see here, which says about getting the chance to ride the wave of wellness with an exclusive summer chiropractic offer. But I always say, and this is like basic marketing that everyone should know, is we need to talk to people about the pains that they are dealing with at 2 a.m. When has anyone ever come into your clinic and first of all said, hey, look, I'm dealing with back pain, neck pain, headaches, migraine, sciatica? It just wouldn't happen. But secondly, when has anyone ever woken up at 2 a.m, struggling to sleep, worrying about whatever it is that they're worrying about, and said, and just thought to themselves, yeah, you know what, I really need to ride the wave of wellness with a summer chiropractic offer? It just doesn't happen. So why do we put that in marketing? And yet this is what agencies do as well. But when we think of this psychologically, does putting a stock image build trust? I would always say no. Does it stop people in their tracks? I would also always say no, because we are fighting against everything else out there, which is stopping and pulling people in. The other thing as well, which we've got to think of when it comes to getting people to stop and become a lead and take interest in the business, is people are constantly saying that people's attention span has dropped, which I actually disagree with, because people can watch stuff on Netflix, they can binge watch series. So it's not that attention span has decreased, it's that our attention span is just we've got so many different things fighting for our attention. Therefore, it's perceived as it's decreased, but there's just so many different things. So we've actually just got to create better content and therefore better ads. So one of the key things that we need to do is to really make sure that we're standing out against everything else in terms of like ad-wise. So what we need to do is get people to stop and then take them from that old way of thinking to the new way of thinking. And the thing that is working right now is when it doesn't look like an ad. People have this thing and think that, oh, I can create some AI images on Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever it is, and that'll be enough. And it takes them 10 seconds to do it, and they're like, this is going to be great. Like, AI's really made everything that much better. And that's exactly why. It's real people that are working, they're like people in actually ads, because it's harder to do. Therefore, most people don't, because they think, oh, I can just do that and it'll create an ad and then push it up. And then they're like, oh, Facebook ads don't work for my clinic randomly. They do, it's just you're being lazy and not actually creating or putting time and attention into creating the content, the ads, and therefore blaming the system when actually it's just you being lazy and not creating good content. That's all it is. So we actually need to put time and attention in to get new patients. If new patients aren't worth an hour a week to create new content, cool, don't moan about it when you don't get new patients in. It is the lifeblood of your business, and if you can't give it the time and attention, don't moan about not having new patients. That's how I feel about it. Give it the time and attention that it deserves. If a new patient is coming into your clinic and they are worth $1,000 to you, lifetime value, give it the attention. If I gave you $1,000, you'd be like, oh, cool. I'm going to make sure that you're super invested. That's what we need to be doing. So then how can we do this and compress the time so we're going to get the most out of it? So this new style of ads is what I call 7-second ads. We've actually been running this in the clinics for maybe getting on 2 years now, but it's simple to create and it's what a lot of people are viewing. So what we want to do is to make sure that your ad doesn't scream ad, but instead screams content. So people see it and they get invested in it. So this style is a 7-second style. And I'm going to show you my example here. So this is just me fiddling around on a bench, but crucially we've got this text overlay and it's just a bit of B-roll with text overlay. So it's just adding some movement in with that overlay over the top. And the whole point of that overlay is to break a belief, give them a contrarian view, stop the scroll, and take from this old way of thinking into new way of thinking. That's how simple it is. So you can probably go and start doing that right now. But there's crucial things that we can actually do to this and to make it way better as well. Because we want this to be specific to you and your clinic and the issues that you are seeing with your patients. The best way we can do this is to see what patients are saying to you and then put that as the contrarian view, as their overlay. That's how simple we can make it. And actually what works for the B-roll is a variety of different things. Maybe you see my content on social media. I use a lot of this because it works. But we've got other people who are doing this as treating people. We've got other people doing this as simple things such as walking through their town. The B-roll can actually be pretty simple. The crucial part that goes with it is the caption over the top and the copy that comes with it as well. So these are other parts that actually make it up, but you can see how simple it is and you can start doing that right now. You literally just need to get your phone out, go and record, put some text overlay. You can literally just use the one which I've put up for you earlier as well, and then run that as an ad, run that as a piece of content, and you can see the amount of more engagement that you'll get. In fact, I actually just recommend running it organically, be able to see how many more views you get in comparison to other things, and then we can just amplify that through paid ads. It's going to be the simplest way, and you don't even need to put any spend behind it, and you can do that right now. You can literally do that today. So stop this video, go and create that content, let me know how you get on with it, and then you can start amplifying what we already know works. If you want me to show you how to get that content, then just go to the link in the description. You can get the 5-week ad pack, and that will walk you through how to get this type of content and other pieces as well. And I think it's like $24 that you can get started with it. So if you want my help with that, go to the link in the description and then I'll show you the exact steps which you can do to get this launched and live.